Hello! Hope you're all doing well. Got some more training coming up today, I presume. This is one of them rare ones where I'm filming this before we've actually done the session, so I don't know what's coming up. We've got, I think, on the plan then, and who knows if the plan's going to be true to reality, but on the plan it says kick, descend to short rest. So in the minute we're doing kick twice a week. So we did a kick set on Tuesday, today's Thursday, and with a bit of luck this will come out on the Friday if I get some quick turnaround going on. So the kick set on Tuesday, we did some 50s short rest, and we did 12 off a minute, 16 off 55, and then 20 off 50. So not too bad, not too bad. So we'll see what tonight's going to be. Just about to eat. How good does that look? Some beef, potatoes, and some salad. I'll put a bit of ketchup with it. The size of that bottle. Look at that. Enormous. From a wholesaler's. It's only like a couple of quid. It's probably quite shit, but only put a little bit just to help the spuds go down. Like chips, isn't it? Anyway, what else is going on? Racing this weekend. So it's going to be first meet of the season. Long course in Manchester. So if anyone's around in Manchester and want to come and watch some possibly slightly horrendous racing, I don't know, we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, so I'll come back when I know what's actually going on in the set. See you later. Okay, kicking this off with some drills. There's some underwater drill on the way out, a fly drill on the way back. So the underwater drill, first of all, was massive fly kicks. So this isn't really for the fly kicks themselves. It's more of like a spinal manipulation, trying to get that back moving as well as possible. So you can see here at the end, I'm not even in a streamline. I'm just trying to get as big an amplitude as possible. And I think that's really helpful. I nicked that off. I think that was a Ryan Hoffer one. Great underwaters, American lad. Then coming back was always a fly drill. So here, just a skull at the front of the stroke. So that's why I wore a snorkel. So obviously the snorkel is not necessary for the underwater, but it helps for the fly drills. So that one there, just trying to get that feel for the catch at the front of the stroke. This next underwater drill is the complete opposite of the first one. So I'm trying to do as tiny fly kicks as possible. So my legs are moving a bit, but it's like the complete opposite of what it was before. And that's to work on that body line. So if you have a go at this one, you'll find it's very difficult to go anywhere if your streamline's rubbish. So you've got to keep that streamline tight, abs tight, hips tucked under, and then those little movements will actually propel you pretty well. Coming back, skull and kick again. This time I started in that front position and then brought it down through the rest of the stroke. Again, just to map out that pull pathway and try and build that neurological connection a little bit. Next one then, again, I'm not in a streamline, arms by my side, and it's all about the upbeat. So sharp upbeat, and then relax them down. Reset, sharp upbeat, and come down. That's just to turn the hamstrings on a bit, remind my body what does it mean to do an upbeat? What does an upbeat feel like? Actually, you can see Jess there doing some quite nice fly kicks into some drill. So coming back then, I did a drill just working on that front bit of the catch. So a couple of kicks and then catch. And I'm trying to do this leg dominant because when I start thinking too much about my arms, my fly ends up being not as good and more clunky. So I always try and keep it leg dominant. This next drill then, I think it's been on my Instagram. So you start kicking with your arms by your side, move up to that 11 and 1 o'clock positions. I suppose it could be 10 or 5 past 11, couldn't it? I suppose as a position, or 5 to 1, whatever you want to think. And then you try and keep that, you set up the movement on the kicks arms by your side, and then as you progress up to that 11 and 1 position and then into the streamline, you're trying to maintain that range without the upper body having to do a lot of moving. Coming back was just Biondi, just a classic. This one, again, the underwater drill is the same as the previous one. And then coming back now is going to be my, I suppose it's a progression on Biondi. So Biondi, great drill for getting that acceleration in the stroke, set the catch, rip through. So what I'm doing here is a stroke and then a Biondi stroke. So I quite like that because it sets up the catch there, catch, and then accelerate through. So you're sort of transferring that into the swim. So now we're into the main set. I only filmed a little bit of it because we're in and out of the water a lot. This is a nice smooth fast 25 underwater as the session comes up on screen. So there's some abs into some aerobic swimming. Oh, sorry, abs into some kick, into some underwater descending, then some aerobic swimming. And there's about 4 blocks of that. So you join us here. This is on the 8100. So actually the set that was on screen, classic Mark Rose, wrote it as a nice pattern, didn't actually add up how many meters it was. It ended up being 6.6k, I think. So we had a little moan, it got changed down. I think the other group had, I think there was meant to be 8.3, got it dropped down to I think 7 and a bit, something like that. But that was the end of 8100s aerobic, just off 130, nothing too difficult. Going in some abs, so 40 scissors, which is like the single leg V-sits, 20 windscreen wipers, and then 20 crucifixes. And it looks a lot easier in or sped up than it feels when you're actually doing it. It's a good way of lighting the abs up. So we took that abs into the kick. So this was just 4 200s aerobic kick with a little negative split, A1 to A2, so like pretty comfortable to pushing it a little bit, but not really. And these were all off 330, 2 with no fins, 2 with fins. I did one freestyle with a snorkel on board, and the other one just on my back. Nice and straightforward. And it's got a lot of splash onto this camera lens as well, isn't it? Now, so as this kick's just finishing, then this is going to go into 425s. This time it's going to be off 40, descending 1 to 4 to smooth fast. So we're going to look at all of these, and we're going to look at how the kick technique changes as I get faster. So this first one was a dead calm, but although it doesn't really feel like it when I'm swimming it, you can see it's very disjointed, isn't it? That's because I'm thinking about going slow, knowing that I've got 3 speed progressions to make up. So it's a little bit disjointed. The technique's still good. You can see that strong upbeat and the strong downbeat are flowing nicely into each other, but then going back into the upbeat is then a little bit of a pause. I'm not too worried about that. So we can see as this one's then slightly quicker, flowing a little bit more. The legs are a bit splayed actually. Maybe they should be closer together. But again, this is nice and comfortable. And I turn around for these. We had 4 blocks of these 425s through the set. Turn around, descended as we went through. So the first round we were off a minute, dead easy. And then by the last round, going off 30 to still put in that descend gets pretty hard. And then go straight into the aerobic swimming out of breath, which is what we're training in tip. Because when we race, we're going to be out of breath going into the underwater, and then out of breath going into the swim. So again, it's a little bit disjointed, but it's definitely flowing a lot better than the first rep, and it's noticeably faster into it as well, disappearing off into the distance. So I think roughly I was probably maybe like 19 for the first one, around 17 second one, 15 seconds for the third one, and then the last one was about 12, I think. Yes, this one's clearly the smoothest. Getting that good amplitude both ways and accelerating straight through. So probably, yeah, it's probably borderline 11, 12 seconds, something like that. Not too bad. Not too bad. Well, we had a power set on the Wednesday nights. This is obviously, as I mentioned earlier, the Thursday night set. The power Wednesday night is pretty depleting. So that, yeah, look at that, bloody out of breath. so that goes then into the 6-100s aerobic, again off 130. I think I did free to back, or back to free in 25s, except the last one I got a bit confused and ended up doing back, free back, but no mind, eh? And I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. So thanks again for watching it. We'll maybe try and do some filming from the racing this weekend. And let me know if there's anything else you want to see, training wise, lifestyle wise, anything. Cheers, see you later.